What happens if a chain smoker suddenly quits smoking? First day without cigarettes, and my body declared war on me. I've been smoking since I was 15, half my life, about 14,600 packs. That's 290 to 1,000 cigarettes. At 5 minutes per cigarette, I spent almost 3 years of my life just smoking. The decision wasn't dramatic, no cancer diagnosis or ultimatum, just one moment when I saw my 5-year-old daughter, Lucia, pretending to smoke a crayon, holding it exactly the way I hold my Marlboros, even flicking imaginary ashes the same way I do. What are you doing, Lucia? I asked, already knowing. I'm being you, Daddy, she said, taking another fake puff. I flushed the cigarettes down the toilet, deleted my smoke break alarms, and told no one. Previous attempts had failed when I announced them, like my brain needed an audience to give up. By 10 a.m. Wednesday, my hands were shaking so badly I spilled coffee all over my keyboard. A coworker noticed. Hangover, he asked. Quitting smoking, I admitted. His eyebrows shot up. Cold turkey, Marco said. That's like jumping out of a plane without checking if the parachute works. By afternoon, the headache hit. Not mild, primitive, like my skull was being crushed in a vice. Every sound became a weapon. The office printer might as well have been a jackhammer beside my ear. That night, I dreamed about cigarettes, not just smoking them. I was swimming through them, thousands floating in a sea of tobacco, each one calling my name. Day to broad rage, pure irrational fury that made me scream at Lucia for dropping a spoon at breakfast. It's just a spoon. I yelled, instantly horrified with myself. Her little face crumpled. My wife, Elena, drove her to school instead. Get it together, she whispered. Call your doctor. My doctor prescribed nicotine patches, which felt like cheating, but also survival. Your brain is rewiring itself, he explained. The receptors flooded with nicotine for years are screaming for it. By the third day, the insomnia was so bad I hallucinated. My mouth kept filling with saliva. I was constantly about to throw up. Food tasted like wet cardboard. At 2 a.m., I found myself standing outside a gas station staring at cigarette ads, trembling. A teenager walking out looked concerned. You okay, sir? I wasn't, but I didn't buy cigarettes. On day 5, the dreams came back. I dreamed I smoked and woke up crushed with guilt, patting the bed for cigarette burns, before realizing it wasn't real. The physical symptoms were brutal, but nothing compared to the psychological war. Every stressful trigger felt like a neon sign flashing smoke now. By day 7, suddenly I could smell everything. My co-workers' perfume from across the room. The garbage inside the house while I was still standing in the driveway. The lingering smoke smell in my car upholstery that I hadn't noticed in years. I deep cleaned my car that weekend, choking on the yellow residue coming off the windows. By day 14, I could walk upstairs without sounding like I was dying. Lucia noticed. Daddy, you don't make that scary breathing sound anymore. By day 30, the cravings still ambushed me, but less often. I gained 4 kilos, but my skin lost its gray tint. My wife kissed me one morning and paused. Your mouth tastes different, she said. Better. On day 60, I found an old jacket with a forgotten pack in the pocket. Instead of excitement, I felt disgust. I showed it to Elena, who watched nervously while I crushed every cigarette under the faucet. I didn't think you'd make it this time, she admitted. Neither did I confessed. It's been 6 months now. The money I saved, almost €1,000, paid for Lucia's first real bike, and a weekend getaway with my wife. My constant cough disappeared. Food tastes incredible. Sometimes I still reach for cigarettes that aren't there. Phantom limb syndrome, but for addiction. But yesterday, when Lucia hugged me and said, "You smell nice, Daddy," instead of wrinkling her nose and pulling away, I knew with absolute certainty that I'll never smoke again. Full story on my profile.